Oil diplomacy is morphing into a high-stakes standoff in the heart of Central Europe. The flow of crude, once a quiet artery of regional stability, is now a lever of power. Slovakia's Prime Minister, Robert Fico, is issuing a stark warning. If Ukraine's suspension of oil transit through the Druzhba pipeline is driven by political motives rather than technical necessity, Bratislava will not stand idle. What was once routine energy transit now risks becoming geopolitical brinkmanship, with consequences that could ripple far beyond the pipeline itself. In a video posted to social media, Fico said Bratislava will take response measures if the suspension of supplies is confirmed to be a political game. Slovakia relies heavily on Russian crude delivered through the Druzhba pipeline, which runs across Ukrainian territory. Earlier, Slovakia's Fico accused Zelensky of political blackmail, as he added that Ukraine risks losing Europe's support due to its current behavior. Fico warned, adding that Slovakia might cease supplying Ukraine with electricity.
Mr. President Zelensky is playing with our support regarding Ukraine's European perspective. If our suspicion that this is political blackmail is confirmed, he will gradually lose our support. Also today, a SEP's representative, whom I invited concerning electricity supplies to Ukraine, was present at the government meeting. Slovakia is delivering what we could refer to as security provisions in the event of a power grid failure in Ukraine, when they require Slovak electricity to stabilize their national system. In January of this year, such a significant amount of electricity was sent to Ukraine that it was twice as much as for the entire year 2025. Therefore, theories likely these supplies are of some importance to Ukraine's electricity system. If President Zelensky feels that this holds no value, that he doesn't need it, then we can decide to withdraw from this cooperation concerning the supply of electrical energy.
Oil flows were suspended in early February, but according to Slovak officials, information available to Bratislava suggests the damaged section of the pipeline has already been repaired and pumping could resume. Fico says that raises questions. Is the delay technical or strategic? The Slovak government has now declared a crisis situation amid oil shortages, signaling growing pressure on the country's energy security. Any prolonged disruption could impact refining operations, fuel supplies, and prices across the region. For decades, the Druzhba pipeline has pulsed like a steel artery beneath the continent, carrying Russian crude deep into Central Europe, binding economies together through energy dependence. Now, as tensions between Moscow and Kyiv grind on, that artery is tightening. Energy transit is no longer just infrastructure, it is leverage, it is pressure, it is power, and Slovakia is drawing a line. If politics, not logistics, lies behind the shutdown, Bratislava is warning there will be consequences.
We will take every possible step. We are turning to international forums, and we have stopped diesel fuel deliveries to Ukraine. We are also examining the possibility of halting electricity and natural gas supplies. We believe that this clearly exceeds all previous boundaries. Ukrainian action against another European Union member state, which, by the way, has been assisting Ukraine not with weapons and soldiers, but with humanitarian aid, even during the period of war, is unacceptable and intolerable. Ukraine can no longer count on receiving crude oil shipments from Hungary.
Pro-Putin EU nation to cut off Ukraine's power. Chilling, choking threat to Zelensky. Russian oil supply row escalates. Hungary is considering cutting off power and gas exports to Ukraine. Prime Minister Viktor Orban's chief of staff, Gergely Gulius, told a briefing on February 19th that Kyiv must resume Russian oil shipments to Hungary via the Druzhba pipeline or face consequences. The oil supplies have been disrupted since January 27th. Ukraine said that the pipeline was damaged in alleged Russian drone attack. The alleged attack took place near the Ukrainian town of Brody, a key transit point for Russian crude bound for Slovakia and Hungary. Hungary and Slovakia are the only European Union states that are still refining Russian crude via Druzhba, resisting full European Union sanctions on Russian energy imports. Gulyas accused Ukraine of making a conscious and deliberate decision to harm 2 EU member states by voluntarily halting oil flows through the Druzhba pipeline. Gulyas revealed that Hungary coordinating closely with Slovakia to consider an option of stopping power and gas shipments to Ukraine.
It is quite clear that Ukraine's political leadership consciously and deliberately decided to harm Hungary and Slovakia. Let me reiterate, it's not just that the Ukrainian side is trying to interfere in the election campaign by all means, but they are consciously causing damage to 2 European Union member states. The government has established that within Hungary's borders, even despite the closure of the Friendship crude oil pipeline by a voluntary Ukrainian decision, the security of energy supply remains fully guaranteed. We have released our strategic crude oil reserves, and this alone ensures our supply security for more than 3 months, and we are purchasing Russian oil, which will be transported to Hungary through Croatia. MOL has already placed an order for 500,000 tons. We absolutely do not accept the decision made by the Ukrainian government. This also contradicts their European Union candidate status, thus violating their commitments to the Union. We will take every possible step. We are turning to international forums, and we have stopped diesel fuel deliveries to Ukraine. We are also examining the possibility of halting electricity and natural gas supplies. We believe that this clearly exceeds all previous boundaries. Ukrainian action against another European Union member state, which, by the way, has been assisting Ukraine not with weapons and soldiers, but with humanitarian aid, even during the period of war, is unacceptable and intolerable. Ukraine can no longer count on receiving crude oil shipments from Hungary, and I reiterate, additional retaliatory measures will certainly follow if the Ukrainian government does not change its current decision and persists in keeping the Friendship crude oil pipeline closed based on completely unfounded claims. Hungary's stance has long been that too many international bodies focus only on Ukraine and the war. It's time there was also one that deals with peace. Naturally, we see that the international order is fundamentally transforming and being reshaped. We cannot know precisely what the ultimate outcome of this will be, but it is certain that the Peace Council can play a truly significant role in establishing peace in the world's conflict-affected regions. The American administration has achieved considerable success in this respect in the Middle East and has even proven effective in resolving other armed conflicts as well. It is clearly in the vital interest of Europe, and especially for Hungary, that peace should be established in Ukraine as quickly as possible. Every single organization and every international initiative which actively works to promote this outcome must be given our full and unwavering support. For Hungary, membership costs nothing. It doesn't involve any financial payment obligation, but at the same time it provides an opportunity for Hungarian interests in an important organization, one led by the President of the United States. Let's assert that Hungarian interest, which we identified and defined 4 years ago at the outbreak of the war, the achievement of the fastest possible peace. A year ago, the American administration also joined this, as the Trump government had set the goal of establishing peace everywhere, and this also applied to the Russian-Ukrainian war. And therefore, we are of the firm belief that any institutional framework which actively supports these aspirations and especially prioritizes the objective of bringing an end to the Russian-Ukrainian war is certainly worthy of Hungary's full participation.
Remember, Hungary and Slovakia have already suspended diesel exports to Ukraine amid the ongoing tussle. Both EU nations account for roughly 68% of Ukraine's electricity imports this month, according to consultancy Expro, with Hungary supplying about 1/3 of Ukraine's gas imports. Hungary and Slovakia have accused Ukraine of delaying a restart to flows for political reasons, and on Wednesday they announced a halt in diesel exports to Ukraine. Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has been a vocal opponent of Ukraine's bid to join the European Union. Also, both Hungary and Slovakia have both maintained good relations with Russian President Vladimir Putin through almost 4 years of war in Ukraine, despite pressure from the United States and fellow EU member states.